Reporting live from JN Equipment. My name is Andrew and you might have talked to me before about air spray and paint spray related questions. Today I am bringing you the CAT-Xpress gun, also known as the CAT-Xpr. This system we have here today features the new 3M 2.0 system. Because this gun and the 3M system are upgrades, the older parts cannot be used with this. And I'm going to show you what makes this gun so much better than previous iterations and its cousin, the CAT-X. Before we go over on what makes the gun so special, I would like to go about every single item that comes in this package. Let's start off with the 3M cup I mentioned. So this, as you might see down here, it has a different adapter than the old style 3M adapters. This simply screws on and that's it. Then you have the cup and you will get 3 liners. And this cup, what makes it special is it has a little barb down here where we're going to put in this little hose that it comes with. The other end will go into our regulator. So this will go in here later. I will show this in more detail. Now, since I have the air regulator right here, it's a very simple regulator that's going to regulate only our cup. It will not regulate our gun. And what we have here is our pressure gauge, safety relief valve that we can set with a flathead screwdriver, the connection for our air hose coming into the regulator from the compressor, the barb that I mentioned, and also the connection that will connect the regulator to our gun. Other accessories important to the cup is we get 3 lids that will fit this assembly, and I will also later show this on how to put these on, because one tricky thing is you have to remove these black lids, otherwise it will not fit on. And then the last piece for the cup is going to be the collar. So this is going to keep the lid screwed on the cup. Then we have some tools. Like with most air spray guns, you get a wrench, and these will help removing the fluid nozzle, tightening or loosening various nuts on the gun. Then also you get a cleaning brush. That's mostly for the outside. For the inside, we usually recommend a small cleaning brush kit. You get this very, very small Allen wrench, which is going to be used on the gun for only one specific part, so make sure not to lose this. And then you get 3 in total needle nozzle sets. One is already in the gun. You get 1.8 millimeter and a 0.8 millimeter additional that you can swap out. If you would need other needle nozzle sets, if you order from us, simply let us know and we gladly put other needle nozzle sets that are perfect for your application inside the box. And then we have the dark green HVLP air cap. You might be used from the CAT-X gun as a regular light green or like a sea green air cap. And they made these luckily so you cannot confuse these with your older air caps. Like if you want to use your CAT-X and your CAT-Xpr gun side by side, it's very hard to mix these parts up. And then of course, the star of the show, we have the CAT-Xpr gun. So out of the box, there will be a blue air cap on here, which is our reduced pressure or RP air cap. Then on the back, we have our fan control, which is simply a half turn this way or that way for a wider or more narrow fan. And here on the back we have our fluid control. So if you screw this out, you get more fluid as you can pull the needle nozzle better, further out. And this in the middle is your lock nut so that your fluid control is set in place. Then here on the bottom we have our cheetah valve. The cheetah valve is really good for fine adjustments on the go. You don't really want to use this for your main adjustments you want still to use the regulator from your air compressor or maybe pressure pot, since this is a pressure feed gun. Now you might be used to gravity feed from the normal CAT-X guns, but this is a pressure feed to really give you the best finish available on the market, and it also allows you to go in high production, because now you can hook up a 2.5 gallon, 5 or even 10 gallon pressure pot. So if you're in a really high production environment but you don't want to sacrifice finish, you can use this gun to really get the best finish. And now we go over the exact details what the gun is made for. Now I'm going to explain to you what makes the CAT-Xpr gun so special. It is the best of all three companies that Wagner has to offer: Walter Pilot, CA Technologies, and Wagner's industrial arm. So this gun might look like a CAT-X gun, but it does not have the components of one. These are superior. The air cap, the insides, the fluid control and the fan control, everything is completely designed to give you the best finish at the minimum CFM. To put it in comparison, a CAT-X gun and other conventional guns and HVP guns need about 12 to 15 CFM to operate properly. This gun will only require 9 CFM. That can save you easily $500 in a new compressor, even if we talk about high quality brand air compressors such as the Ingersoll Rand line, which can be powered with a 3 horsepower compressor, and it will not compromise your finish one bit. And now that I explained to you why this gun is special, let's go and set it up as if we were going to spray. So the first thing I like to do is I grab my new 3M adapter and I screw it on. As you might have seen earlier, the fitting is much different down here, which is circular compared to the old 3M design. This one will be held better in place with the cup, and you will see in a moment why. Next, I'm going to connect our fluid regulator, which, like I earlier explained, the stainless steel piece will screw in right here. Obviously, if you're ready to spray, you want to tighten this with a wrench down here, and that will allow you to make sure that there's no air leak, and a few rounds of Teflon would not hurt either. So the spray gun itself is ready to go, so let me put it aside. And now we're going to go over the cup. So the first thing we have to do, like I described earlier, we have to take this plastic lid off, because it's not going to work in combination with the collar. So there is, maybe hard to see, but there's little tabs on here where you really want to pressure it to not break the collar in case you ever need them. So the trick I found out is you push down with your thumb onto the plastic lid, and then you just pull it gently over, and there's 4 of these corners, and once you really have it over 2, the rest is going to really just come out. So I'm just trying to gentle here, and it comes right off. So now I have it separated, and this piece you don't really need, so we just set it aside. And now we have this piece. It's just going into the cup, push it in, and that's it. No screwing yet. So the next piece we want to do is we want to put the collar assembly on top, and what you're going to see is these slits here are going to line up with the 3M 2.0 connector. So it's just going to sit there while we tighten the collar. We want to tighten it as far down as it goes until it's nice and snug, and now it won't fall off. So now we can't remove the lid or the cup, it's sitting nicely on here. And now, because we already prepared the gun, we can simply sit it here on top, and then we just spin it after pushing it gently down. Keep spinning it until it goes no further. Up. it didn't grab it there properly, so you want to make sure the free M adapter grabs it all the way. And once it's in there, you will feel it will not give you way anymore, and now it won't fall off and it's properly attached. So now we're ready to go, except for one last component, this little air hose. So what I like to do is, I start at a cup which is down here at the bottom. There's a little barb, and we're just going to push it gently on there. You want to make sure you push it on all the way to make sure there might be no air leaks. There is a little piece to grab it. And then what you can do is you can wrap the air hose around and push it on here, on the barb, on the regulator. A little bit hard to do here for the camera. So I'm twisting this to the side, push it on, and now we have our assembly. So the gun now is 100% ready to go, except of course the paint is missing. Remember the air regulator. This barb only regulates the pressure in the cup. This regulator gives us the fluid pressure inside of our 3M PPS 2.0 pressure cup. If you had a pressure pot set up that you can do with this pressure fed gun, you would regulate the pressure on the pressure pot or your pressure cup. So this regulator right here will help us adjusting the cup pressure and our fluid pressure going inside the gun and out. The air for the gun is going to be still set up at your air compressor or second gauge you might have beforehand. A lot of people ask me what kind of hoses, like from the air compressor to here. What I always say is you want never to exceed 25 foot on a 5/16 air hose. Even though it's 5/16 inside diameter, the air hose coming in here still has 1/4 inch fittings. And the reason is that you don't want pressure loss. So for example, people that use 1/4 inch hose, you have a lot of pressure being lost from hose friction loss. And that will result in less air at your air cap, which now can mess with your finish. The same goes when you have a pressure pot setup with your fluid hose. You would want 3/8 fluid hose with a maximum of 25 foot from your vessel to your gun. And the reason is the exact same. You don't want to lose pressure in the line. For example, if your pressure pot says 1, but let's say you put a 1/4 inch fluid line on there, the pressure going into the gun would be a complete different one, and it is going to make your setup much more difficult to get a perfect spray this gun can deliver. Now that we have the gun, let's assume it's time to change the nozzle. We have a new material. So what I like to do is obviously take everything off, starting with the air regulator. I just set it aside, and then the 3M, just a slight screw, and the cap comes off. So now our air regulator and our cap is still connected, and then just for convenience, I like to take the 3M connector off. So if you want to change the nozzle and the needle set, the first thing I like to do is taking off the air cap. The air cap you have to be a little bit careful with because there's nothing holding it in place except the retaining ring, so it's going to come all in one piece off. To remove the fluid nozzle, we're going to use the wrench it came with. Once we find the right size, it's going to grab right here and we would loosen it. And then we can simply unscrew it from there, take it out, and put our other needle nozzle set in here that we will find in our needle nozzle set. Once that is done, I like to take care of the spring and the needle. So we're going to take our fluid control and just keep unscrewing until it pops. So you want to be gentle because the spring is going to pop out. So here's our spring with the white little cap, so we know which way it goes. And then the needle. It's very hard to grab while it's still inside. So what we can do is we can give the trigger a gentle pull and the needle comes out. Now all we have to do is pull on it. You cannot damage the gun by pulling it out. CA Technologies did a very great job at designing this needle to be taken out without damaging, even if the fluid nozzle is still in. Now we would take our new needle nozzle set, take it out and put it in. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to put the same kit back in. So we start with the needle and it just kind of has to find its spot. So don't be afraid of wiggling it a little bit gently around, and then we push it in all the way until we can't see it anymore. Then we take the spring, white cap towards out, and then this is going to be a little struggle as we push this back on because the spring is going to fight us. So we're pushing this on all the way and start screwing it. Once you have it screwed in a little bit, it won't jump out anymore because now we are regulating our fluid control and how far the needle will pull back. At this point, we could also change the air cap out if we wanted to our dark green HVLP air cap. And so we would take just the old one out, put it on the side, and then gently lay it here on top, air cap retainer on top, and just hand screw it back in. So now you saw that it changed the direction of the air cap, but luckily that's not a problem. Without having to unscrew it or anything, we still can turn the air cap and control our spray pattern, whether we go vertical or horizontal. You don't have to loosen anything, which makes on-the-go adjustments very easy. And that is what makes this gun so great and what is included in the PPSR2 kit with your entire 3M 2.0 cup. That is improved design in terms of how it holds onto your gun, in terms of spray efficiency and regulation. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments or concerns, feel free to email us over at sales@jnequipment.com or call us, and you can also ask for me by name. My name is Andrew and this was the CAT-Xpress